It's nice to see you in this video. So now I'm going to be showing you how we can install Windows Server 2025 in our virtual machine. So go on and open up your VirtualBox. The second thing, we need to have our Windows Server. So I'm going to just go on and open up my browser. I want you to search for Windows Evaluation Center. So if we search for Windows Evaluation Center, I'm going to just tap on this. Then we can tap on this, or we do have our Windows Server here. So I'm going to go on and select this. If we are redirected to this page, in case you want to download one that was specifically installed or pre-installed for our virtual disk hard drive, but we do have also our ISO. I think it is better you go with the ISO. So if I tap on download ISO, we see that another page is opened up. Now here we are going to be provided with a form this side, whereby if you go on and fill in this form and come down here, you tap on download, you'll be able to download your Windows Server 2025. Now before recording this video, I had already downloaded this server and I have it on my local machine. So I'm going to just go on and open up my VirtualBox and we start with our installation. Now if it is your first time installing VirtualBox, you won't have anything here, but I want you to make sure that you are on machines. So you can tap on the second icon here, which is for machines, and I want you to tap on new. Now here we are going to go on and we call this Server 2025 since it's the one that we are installing. So if we come here to our folder, this is the location where our information is going to be saved. And when you try to see here, we do have local disk C. In a situation whereby your C is full, you don't have space on C, you can turn this to another partition like what I'm going to be doing. So all I can do is to tap on this drop down. I'm going to tap on others. I can choose another partition. Perhaps I'm going to go to D, and inside D I can go on and create a new folder. I'm going to provide a name to this folder. Let me just call it VMs so that I do not forget where my VMs are going to be installed. So when I do select and also select folder, again you see that my path has been changed, but of course if you do have space on C, you can just leave it with the default. Now here we have our ISO image. This is where we need to go on and select our Windows Server 2025, the one that we downloaded. So I'm going to tap on this drop down and tap on others. You need to go to the location where your files are. Now since I have my Windows Server here, it is in the path of D, Windows, and my server. Now for you, you can just go on and go to downloads. You'll be able to see your Server 2025. So if we come here to our edition, I want you to look at this. So this is where we need to go on and install the desktop experience. If you go with the default, you are going to be having Windows Server, but of course it's going to be in our CLI. So just tap on this drop down. You can either go for standard evaluation, but in brackets we do have desktop experience, and we also have this one for data center. So let me just go with this second one. Now if we come here to our setup, our guest here, I'm going to come and provide this with my name. Perhaps let me go on and give it Greennet DC for my domain controller. So if we come to our password, I'm going to just give it a simple password. This one's going to be, let me just tap here so that we see the password that I'm going to be typing in. I'm going to provide a capital P. I'm going to use an @ then it's going to be like this password with exclamation mark. So I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to duplicate this down here. So it's better you remember the password that we use, and I can also put this in my description. So if we look here, we don't need a product key, because if you go on and download Windows Server from Evaluation Center, you are going to be provided with a license that will last for 90 days. Now I want you to put a tick on install guest additions. This one is going to help you with drivers that will make your Windows Server to be in a full screen. So if we come here to specify virtual hardware, we are going to leave it with 2048, that is 2 MBs of RAM, 2 GBs of RAM. In case you do have more, you can increase, and in case you do have less, you can again decrease, though it is better you give it at least 1 GB of RAM. That will be 1024. So if we come here to specify our virtual hard disk, If I tap on this, we see with the default, they are going to give it 50 GB. So I'm going to leave it with that, and I'm going to go on and tap on finish. We see on our left a instance has been created, and when we look at our right, we see that instance is being powered up. Now when you try to see how we do have this pop-up, if you want you can come and tap on this X here so that will be closed. So when you try to see here, everything is running and files are being loaded and our machine is being powered up. Now I don't know whether you've ever installed Windows before, but we see everything is taking place. Now I'm going to go on and tap on this to close again. We see these pop-ups and they are going to go on and locate our storage media. That will be like our drive. That was the 50 GB we saw earlier. So you see here, they are searching for our disks. So when I was installing this in my previous test, I saw that the moment we don't format one of the partitions they bring here, we can at times face some error. But now here we have this one. This is the partition, and when you try to see, it says it is 50 GB. Now if we don't format this, I was facing some error, but to be on a safer side, I just want you to delete this partition. It's going to be unlocated. So once it is deleted, we can now proceed with our next. But if you don't want to delete, you can proceed with the next and just try to see if it will successfully install. And now our installation has started, and we see that it is counting from 5 to 100. So I'm going to give this a few minutes and I'm going to come back when our installation is made. Remember, this can be faster or it can be slower depending on how fast your machine is. So on my machine, it isn't that slow. I expect this to take around like 10 or 5 minutes, the installation to be done. Now after setup and installing most of the steps, now we do have our graphical interface. I'm going to just tap on this to maximize this, and you will see later that our drivers are going to kick in and we can have this in our full screen. So our server manager is being opened up, and again you can also come here to view. We also have our full screen mode, whereby they said that you can go on and press our host plus F. The host key, it is the right control on your keyboard. Now we have successfully installed our Windows Server in our VirtualBox. I want you to join me again in other videos as we are trying to install Active Directory on our server. In case you are new to the channel, please don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video, and you can also subscribe. Have a great day. Peace.